was 8 years ago, I think that was about 8 years ago, Mary and I had a bad car accident. We were on our way for a medical mission, and I do a lot of missions, as many of you know, in places like Honduras and Guatemala. We've been doing that for 30 years. So we were 7 o'clock in the morning, we're driving on the Beltway going towards the airport, and we came to a dead stop, and a pickup truck slammed us going 65 miles an hour. And I say that speed because he told us that. He said, I was looking down at a notebook for a job I was going on, looked up, there we were, slammed us. Grace of God that we're alive and didn't have really severe damage like visceral problems or broken bones. But he slammed us into the cement wall, came off the wall, hit the pickup truck in front of us, turned that guy 180 degrees. We crossed 4 lanes of traffic and hit the wall on the other side. Airbags deployed. I have 4 herniated discs in my neck, from my low back, bad tear in my left shoulder, tear in my wrist. Mary had some problems too, but not as bad as mine. Most of my problems were caused by the airbag coming out of the steering column. I was very thankful that it was a kind of rainy, cloudy morning, so I didn't have sunglasses on, because I probably would have had glass in my eyes, you know. My eyelid was drooped down for about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months, and they had to do surgery to lift it because it wouldn't come back up. So I struggled every day in practice, and there was no way I was going to get surgery. Didn't want to do it. I know the outcomes on that, not really good. So if I could do things to help myself naturally, that's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, 8 years ago, I knew nothing about this product, okay? So I just did all the normal things. I have plenty of colleagues to treat me. So obviously I got probably 5, 6, 7 times more treatment than any of you would get, right? Because I can treat myself in my own office. I have products at home. I can treat myself there, and I have plenty of colleagues to treat me. So I was getting a lot of treatment, but still I was suffering a lot. My range of motion was decreased. I could barely use this arm. I took a year before I could get my hand behind my back, and it was bad. But I could work on patients, but I became very fatigued. I went into a real chronic fatigue. So I lived 3 miles from the office. I would treat my morning patients and be exhausted, go home at lunchtime, crash, take a little nap. And I never took naps in my life. So my energy was severely depleted. So then I'd come back to the office, do my evening patients, and the same thing. Then by 7 o'clock at night, when we get out of the office, 7:30, I was just like fried. You guys ever experienced that kind of feeling? You're just totally exhausted. And I just kept pushing through, and those of you who have been around me for many years probably saw some of that, you know? So it was 2.5 years ago when a colleague of mine up in St. Louis, Dr. Rodden, introduced me to this product. And we were talking on the phone, and he knew about my problems. And he said, listen, I've tried this patch, I've done some research on it. It sounds kind of unbelievable, but he said the tinnitus in my ears have gone away. He was a medic in the military, he was a cardiac nurse, and he became a chiropractor. And so from shooting weapons, he had tinnitus, so his tinnitus went away. And so I started the patch. So I'm gonna try this for at least 6 months and see what physiologically can change in my body. And I don't wanna make it sound like miracles, although in my experience now with patients and a little bit with myself and Mary, and she can tell you her story later if she wants, within 30 days, my energy came up dramatically. And I truly feel like I'm in my 20s now. And just lots of energy, lots of energy, lots of energy. Doesn't mean I don't get tired sometimes, but I can work really hard. And when I, see 60 or 70 patients a day, and I can still do other things and be out in the heat. We were talking a story earlier on Labor Day weekend, how I was 2 years ago, 105-degree weather all weekend. I cut grass, trimmed trees, played a little bit in the sun. I had plenty of energy, So that's one of the biggest things I noticed. But I also started having improvements, and I chronicled it all. Every day I was watching what was going on. And slowly over time, my range of motion was getting better in my neck and back. I was able to start working out more like I used to be able to do, because I was having a lot of trouble. I couldn't do 2 sit-ups without feeling like someone shoved a knife in the middle of my back. So I got better and better about being able to work out, and now it's not a problem. So the patch helped tremendously, but I noticed a change over months. Okay, the first 30 days, absolute energy was tremendously different. Then I started being able to use my arm better. I could get my arm behind my back. I could reach to my scapula now. without a problem. Do I have a little pinch of pain? Yeah, but there's some arthritis in the joint from trauma, etc. So there's gonna be residual problems, but I'm a whole lot better than I was 8 years ago, absolutely. So I can speak firsthand about the quality of this product, the efficacy of the product, and the changes it's made for me. And slowly introducing it to patients over all these years, now I've noticed the changes in them, you know? And there's an interesting thing, because this stimulates our own stem cells. We don't know from person to person exactly how it's going to work, right? I can't direct your stem cells to do a certain thing. Is it time for me to stop?
That's your cue. That's your cue.
It's too late. I found the switch. Okay. So we can't direct these stem cells, but they're gonna do what they want to do. So those of you who've been on it a while can probably tell me things that have happened to you that haven't happened to me. Like, I have tinnitus in my left ear from the accident. My right ear is fine. My tinnitus never went away. So, you know, I curse Dr. Rodden all the time. It's like, your tinnitus went away. Mine didn't, but it helped me in other ways. So I encourage everyone, once you learn more about this product, to start it. I think it'll change your lives tremendously. And we'll be here after the presentation that Chuck's going to do in just a moment. And we'll stay and answer questions for you, whatever you want. I'm here.